what is the what is that task involved? Everybody is asked. And then they explain what does involve, what are the challenges. Then to shoulder this task, what should be the qualities, capacities, mental attitudes expected in the person? Everybody says, explains. And then everybody is given a paper. Come on now, put down your own name first. So everybody who is proposing or voting has to write one's own name, proposing. And then secondly, they say write the name of the person whom we are proposing. Then they take the ballots together and heaped under the various names proposed. Then everyone is asked, you are proposing so and so, what are your reasons? So everybody has to give the reasons.
So it's public.
Public. And then after everybody explains the facilities, now individually thinking you thought somebody would be good, but now you have listened to so many, maybe you want to change your opinion, then you are welcome to take your slip of paper and put that for somebody. And before he puts that for somebody, he has to explain why he is changing his opinion.
Very open.
Very open. Then the facilitators, okay, so and so seems to be the person. Anybody has any serious objection? And if anybody has a serious objection that is argued, then everybody else takes into account. So that way, no oppression. Everybody is valued. That kind of a culture can grow.
And how do you, when you say oppression, how do you understand that to be?
You see, oppression means, in every democracy, there is a kind of an inbuilt violence.
Sorry, a what?
Inbuilt violence, systemic violence.
Okay.
That means if you have to continue in power, you will have to suppress the minority. So unless you keep suppressing, you cannot remain in power. So you tend to be negative, violent, and so on. But here it is not like that. That's one of the reasons why he says. And this kind of democracy normally leads to corruption. Because when the structures are that big, you have to somehow become big. And if you have to big, especially in terms of money, you will have to somehow collect money. And so whatever means you take gets tolerated, because at the end when you are powerful, the power matters and nothing else. And so a kind of worship for money, individualism is created by this structure. And then what does also, you see, once, to keep being in power and to keep getting the awards, you need to do a lot of image building. And then you need to build a lot of visibility and a kind of a brand like that. And then you invest such a lot of money on that, energy on that. And then when you get old, you think, after investing this much, whom am I bequeathing this to? And you think in terms of your own son as the successor. So in most of the dynamic, in most of the democratic structures, dynasty becomes a kind of inevitable process. Okay, so and so was minister, his son is minister, this one is like that. So, okay. So this kind of, all these problems can be solved when you have a neighborhood-based governance system from below. And when it comes to that, much of the things that we fight for could be achieved. But the very system of it, that's the dream you project. And then, we are working on that. Then we start, as a process towards it, we started working on children's parliaments. We organized children into parliaments of about 30 families each. Children in any neighborhood, 30 families, of about 30 families, they come together, and children of 6 to 18 years old, children 16 to 18 years age, they come together, and then they become the parliament. Time up? Okay.
Maybe 5 more minutes.
Only that.
We're both going to an event soon,
Okay.
so we have to.
Yeah, that, okay, she have told me that. Okay.
No, but
Children's
so
parliament. Okay.
no, definitely finish the telling us about the children's parliament
Okay, yeah.
vision, and then
Okay. And now this
is it
children
going?
parliament, these children come together, and then they elect among themselves a neighborhood neighborhood prime minister, child prime minister, neighborhood ministers, child ministers for health, for environment, for justice, for child rights monitoring, like this, whatever issues, whatever concerns you have a minister there.
Yeah.
And you also have deputy ministers.
And tell us also where the children are coming from, because I remember you mentioned they are coming from from the untouchable caste.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself
Yeah.
is turning
And
a
then
trend.
normally this we find these parliaments getting more acceptability among the poor and the oppressed. And for them it becomes a forum to come together, forum to get empowered, to grow more as more confident personalities, more articulate, and develop their leadership traits and so on. This is happening very much. And these children's neighborhood parliaments, they get federated at village level, then next inter-village level, block level, district level, state level. And we have a state parliament of children. We call it Tamil Nadu Pondicherry State Parliament of Children.
Yeah.
And those children won last year's, that's year 2009, global award for the best child-led organization for child rights action.
Wow.
That is, they call it UNICEF San Marino Alexander Bodini Global Award.
Wow.
We got that. And then these children's parliaments are being started in various places. In some 23 states of India, we have started these children's parliaments. And then small measures, beginning measures. We also started them in the countries of Malawi and Tanzania. They are getting started like that. And then when children come to these places, they try to see what the problems of the neighborhood are. What we say, these children's parliaments are not the type of mock parliaments in the schools. Mock parliaments, they come together, have a drill like that, show, and then once they are out of the session, they are nobodies. But here, in the neighborhood parliaments, even when they are not in session, they are ministers. They are in charge. They have a territory to be in charge. Their governance area to be responsible. So for the neighborhood, we are in charge of this neighborhood. For the village part, we are in charge of this village. Like this, children feel responsible. And each of these ministers, since they are given a ministership, they are very serious about it. They go hunt for materials related to that, get to know what are the issues involved, consult people, and come back and speak as very confident, knowledgeable ministers.
Yeah.
And that way it initiates them think about wider issues. And these children, they go through a process what they call the PLA, Participatory Learning Action, with techniques like resource mapping, Venn diagram for prioritizing the problems and needs, and then wealth ranking, and then various other things. And then they identify the main issues, evolve short-term and long-term goals, and make short-term and long-term plans.
Yeah.
And then whatever they can do by themselves, they themselves do.
Yeah.
Whatever they cannot do, they take it to the parliaments or the other structures of the grown-ups.
Yeah.
So they go and or give a memorandum to the local civil governance unit. We call it panchayat in our place. And they go and meet the district collector. And they go and meet even the state ministers. And then when these children go, they feel helpless and happy. And then what happens? The problems that remained unsolved in the villages, needs that remain unmet get solved and met because of the children's parliaments. Children have been instrumental in bringing new roads, new bus routes, new schools in some places, and the new facilities at daycare, child daycare centers, and then they have brought dropout children back to school, even got some wandered children redeemed.
Yeah.
And all these things they tried to do. And in one village, for example, called Kovalam, the children were involved in this, took responsibility for the cleanliness of the village. And then that village got the award, got the presidential award.
Yeah.
That means award from the President of India for that as a clean village life. And then in one village, children initiated the stuff to bring an access bridge. This is in our place now, 45 lakhs, that means 0.45 million. 45 means 0.4 million. 4.5 million. 4.5 million rupees. That means it will be about $100,000, like that,
Yeah.
That kind of, the children get done.
I think it's an amazing reminder of the capacities that are there if we raise them up.
Yeah.
And if we work to develop them. And most of us, I think the wider society doesn't see children in that way. And so this is a reminder of what they can do. There's so much more to talk about, but now that we both have to attend an event that's coming, I want to thank you.
If time is over, then I cannot talk.
But I want to thank you
I didn't
so
know
much.
that you had a sign a time limit. Otherwise, I would adjust the talk accordingly.
Well, maybe we can continue another time.
Another time, But whatever I spoke is also good, and though it is not exactly on
it's excellent,
children's
and I think,
parliaments.
But it's related to, you related it all to the theme of the Commission on social integration, and you've given us an example that we want to share. So we appreciate your time.
That's good. Good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was so interested in this first exam, and I just let you talk because I think it's fascinating.
Which one?
The way you talk about the federated networks, and this is also an area where the Baha'is are working, but it's interesting to see a whole other initiative with very similar principles and what you're able to do and how you're able to raise it up across all different levels.
And I would like to have a copy of it,
Absolutely.
Even not only the finished product,
the
but
raw.
also the raw ones.
Is that hard to do? We to email, or how do we?
This file?
Yeah. Or we post it on...
We can post it on YouTube, or we can email it.
Is email?
Yeah, if you can email,
Absolutely.
then I'm good.
So
Either if it is possible. Otherwise,
we will get it to you.
Otherwise, we could get a pen flash drive or something and get it copied.
Maybe we can do this.
Yeah. But you're leaving today.
Today, this evening,
So
you are
the
going
only
out
way...
somewhere, no? That's the
I
problem.
think today, I think it's not possible.
No, do one thing. You send it to, Fatima, no? Sister Fatima?
You don't. The one who gave me her cell phone number?
Yeah. You know her, no? She's here.
Just know her a little bit.
Tahira knows her.
Yeah.
And she is one of the, NGO representatives here.
Yeah.
Tahira knows her. If you give it her, she will mail it to me.
Give it to her.
Or you could
Or
mail
we
it to me
can
straight.
mail it to me. You will give. Can you write down
I
your
just
name?
give my card. Okay.